Good morning. I just realised I had my shady glasses on again, so I've taken those off so that you can see me, but it does mean that I can't see you very clearly, if you see what I mean. But anyway, here I am, Thursday morning. Give it a moment or two. Oh, there we go. I'm going to guess that's probably Kathy, because you're normally first. Yep, there we go. Yep. Told you I couldn't see a thing without them. Okay, I'm not wearing them because I've got my glasses that go dark in the sun, and it's so bright in here that you can't see me if I do. So here we are. It's Thursday morning. Today is the penultimate of these meditations, of this way of me showing up. I made the decision that from next week, I can see that someone else, it's probably Helen or Bradley, but I can't read it because I haven't got my glasses on. So yes, today is the penultimate of these sessions. I'm changing the way I show up. Everybody, I think, who is online so far already knows that I have got a Facebook group because you have all joined, which is wonderful. And that's where increasingly I'm going to be sharing practices. I'll be back here tomorrow at 9:30 for a chanting meditation again. And before that, at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and I appreciate the time won't work for everyone, but that's fine, you can catch up on it later. At 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, I'll be going into the Facebook group, Making Space, and sharing a practice which I really enjoy, called Tree of Light Breathing. So if you're able to join me there, and if you're not in the group yet and you like the sound of that, then please just click on the link to my Facebook group, Making Space, and request to join. So today, I've talked a lot over the last few months, while that I've been doing this, about love, because ultimately love is all there is. And I've talked about the choice between love and fear. And it's really interesting because yesterday, 3 separate things happened to make me think about love. And when I say love, again, I mean that all-encompassing divine life force that is what we are all about. So I was asked by somebody in another group to focus on the love, to keep open to where is the love in everything that's happening at the moment in the world. And as I was thinking about that suggestion, that request, that invitation she'd made, I suddenly realised that I'd had 2 very specific examples yesterday brought up for me. And one of them was a link to an interview that I'll put in the comments below this meditation with, and I meant to check his name and I have completely forgotten to do so before I went live, but with a black professor, I believe he is, talking about the George Floyd funeral and about the love that is being shown, and about how much of the calls, how many of the calls around this are not for revenge or out of fear, they are out of love. And I have also noticed how many people are showing love around all of that. And it's really easy to focus on the fear, to focus on the hate, to focus on the things that aren't filling us up. But whether your preoccupation in this moment, at a certain given moment in general, is about Black Lives Matter and how to respond to that, wherever you fall on the spectrum of views, of races, of experiences. Whether your preoccupation is how much and if at all you should be leaving the house, whether it's whether or not to wear a mask, whatever your viewpoint on whatever subject, and it may be something not connected with either of these big topics, there will be somebody who disagrees with you, somebody who is coming from a different place, somebody who has a different viewpoint. And this is, again, where we have a choice. We have a choice of whether we come from love or from fear. Fear underpins all of the non-love responses, whether it's fear of what that person's actions mean for me or for those I love, whether it's fear that underneath everything, maybe they're right and therefore I'm wrong, whatever it may be. Fear is where we come from when we don't come from love. So coming back to love, coming back inside to that divine love, that all-encompassing love, which is what we are at the beginning of it all, at the end of it all. We are love. I am love. Ahum prem. Ahum prem. That's the Sanskrit. I am divine love. And if we can hold on to that and we can remember that and we can come back to that whenever we possibly can, then we are already making the world a better place. Because everything we do from that place can only be for the greater good. And I said there were 3 things that had happened yesterday. The third was that my friend and colleague Liz Mitchell, who was teaching our Yoga for Health class yesterday morning, quoted a beautiful Rumi quote that I know very well, and I'm sure many, if not all of you, are familiar with. But as she said, you can never hear it too often. And that is, your task is not to seek for love, but to find and release the barriers within you that, I've just lost the word, that stand against it. That's not quite right. I'll put, again, the quote will be in my text. We are love. We build barriers against love, and the role of us being here is to dismantle those barriers and move back towards love. So with that in mind, I invite you to gently close your eyes or let your gaze soften and focus downwards, and to take a moment to connect into your feet resting on the ground in whatever way they're doing so. Really bring your awareness to the sense of the earth supporting us, supporting you. Letting gravity rest your feet into the ground, your sitting bones, the base of your spine resting down. And as you maybe find that connection between the feet, the legs becoming a little more alive, a little more awake, supporting your body, supporting your spine, so that your spine can make space between each vertebra. Maybe the shoulders release and soften a little. Maybe your hands and arms want to adjust where they're resting. And bring your awareness to your breath. Feeling your breath moving through your body. Being with that breath, that life force. And if it's helpful this morning, you may choose to imagine each breath drawing in love and each exhalation releasing fear. Whether that's around a specific issue that is live for you at the moment, or a specific situation, or whether it's just a general feeling. Letting each inhalation fill your heart center with light and love and warmth and energy. And letting each exhalation release any energies that are no longer of benefit to you. Knowing that all energy is simply that, energy. And anything that we no longer need that's released simply transmutes, transforms into a different energy. Inhaling light and love, exhaling that which you no longer need, that which no longer serves you. Our task is not to seek for love, but to find and release all the barriers within us that we build against love. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So, look what happens when you move into the power of love. Thank you for being with me today. I'll see you tomorrow here at 9:30, as usual, but for the last time in this format. And if you're in my Making Space group, I will see you at 9 o'clock there for the Tree of Light breathing practice before we sit down together. And if you can't make either of those, then of course, come and join on the replay. Thank you so much for being here with me. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.